So I'm going to continue our discussions on algorithm and algorithmic thinking, as your textbook author describes it as. And today we're going to use another tool, and we've looked at algorithms, and we said there's three ways that we can represent algorithms. One is through natural language, which we did before with instructions for baking a cake. A second one is programming language, such as JavaScript, Visual Basic, C++, C#, etc. And the third is a flowchart. All right, flowcharts are graphical representations, which provide a completely different element for us as humans. And I'm going to show you how to, and your assignment here is going to be to create an ATM transaction flowchart, but I'm going to show you how to bake a cake, use that example we were using before, and create a flowchart. So I created a template for you, and if you click here where it says click here, all you should have Google accounts by now. And this will take you to a Google document that I shared, and so you'll bring it up. You won't be able to change it because it's my document. So the first thing I'll ask you to do is make a copy of it. And when you make a copy, you'll get this screen here. All right, you just need to give it an appropriate name. I'm going to call mine Bake a Cake. All right. And so that takes mine and my document and makes a copy for you. All right. Now, if you notice here, it's pretty much a blank screen. And by the way, we're using a tool here, the Google Drawing tool. If you haven't used it before, play with it a little bit, but it allows you to put figures together. It's really a handy tool. And what I've done over here, the first thing I've done is just kind of create a little template for you. All right. And I'm going to double click on that, and that allows me to edit. Yeah, I'm going to go through here, and I'm just going to change, of course, put your name on there and all that. And what I'm going to just do is change this and write example, baking a cake. And I hit enter, and it updates. Okay. I can also, if you note down here, it says if you want to go multiple lines, use shift enter. Okay, because if you hit enter, it's going to just update it. All right, and that's called a text box. I think you've seen those before, probably in other applications. And over here on the far side, this is what I put together for you. And you'll find these same symbols, I think, in a Moodle shell. A little explanation here quickly. Every algorithm has a starting point and an ending point. All right, and that's the symbols we're going to use for that are just these smaller shaped, I guess they're almost like ovals. All right, processes are rectangles. All right, so anytime we're doing any processing, any input or output, we use a parallelogram. And then anything where there is the actual condition, and then we check to see if the condition is true or false, or we might say yes or no. We use a diamond to represent that. All right. There's also lots of nice arrow tools to show flow as we go through our algorithm. All right. So let's grab these, and I start with this, but then I'll use copy and paste a ton here. So let me just grab this tool, or this diagramming tool here, and I'm just going to drop it on. And I'm not going to make a copy and paste here because that's going to be start. I'm only going to have one start, and I'm going to have one end. All right, so I'll put the start there, and the first thing I'm going to do is kind of some process here. And I'll put this here, and then we'll do some copy and paste with it. All right, I can just drag it on there. By the way, there's an undo if I want to put that back. I find that handy sometimes because I'll unfortunately make a mistake and kind of get things not looking the way I want them to look. So let me just do this. Let me do a copy. Control C is copy. It says that, reminds me of that. And let's do a Control V, which is a paste. What did we do there? That didn't work so good. Sometimes these things come unattached here. So let me make sure we have all these grouped together. It looks like they're grouped already. I have this issue here where it keeps bouncing back and forth. Let me see if I can. I don't think it's going to let me to do that. It's going to be one of the shortcomings of this screen here. So let me just grab this. I'm going to drag this out here. We make copies and paste once we put them out here. All right. And first thing I'm going to do is preheat my oven. And we're going to run this through the same algorithm. All right. We want 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. And I can change the font size here if I need to. I think we're in pretty good shape with this. Next thing I'm going to do is gather the ingredients, and I'm actually going to, in this one, we could say that that's a process, but I'm going to say that's input. Okay, so first thing we preheat our oven, and then next we're gonna gather all the ingredients because they really are our input. All right, and I'm gonna do a copy here and a paste, and I'll take that same object, and I did a Control-C, Control-V. And what's the next thing I want to do? Well, let's mix ingredients in a bowl. All right. And again, I'll do a copy, paste, move that down a little bit here. And here I'm going to say we'll pour the mixture in the pan. That's a process. I'm going to run out of room here. It's one of the disadvantages of Google Docs is you do run out of room. So I'm going to do a copy and paste again here, and I'm just going to move over. Bring it up over here. And after I actually I'm going to do this. Let's use this format. There's all sorts of different ways I could show it. So I'm going to go back up the screen here. So I pour in the pan, and then I'm going to bake in oven for 30 minutes. And now I have this little, actually it's not going to work for me with the way I have this set up. Let me move this back up here. Alright, and the one I haven't used yet is the conditional, so I'm going to pull that out on here. And here I check whether or not, and I'm going to just abbreviate here. I'm going to say, is cake done? Okay, we have a little test for that. And then I'm going to go over here, that's going to be more of a yes or no. Okay, so no, we're going to repeat the process, right? And then yes, we'll move on down our flowchart. All right. So no, we're going to have another process over here. Just tag that right there. We'll say, whoops, bake for 5 more minutes. All right, we're in a loop here now. And now let's start putting some arrows on here. And I'll grab my arrow. It's my selection tool. Here's my arrow. I'll grab an arrow. I want to go from here. See, I put in different points. We'll move it from there to there. It doesn't look right. I don't like that. Let's grab my tool here and delete that. Okay, let's try it again. Try and do a better job with this one. I don't want it on the... There it is. Whoops. All right, and I could take, once I have this here too, maybe I need to scoot this one over, make it align nice and straight. Okay, so do your best to do a neat job with this. Drop that there, and then maybe this one needs to move over just a little bit. Bring that into alignment. All right, I like it neat. All right, same's true here. Maybe we need to move this one over a little bit. We'll just keep working it on through here. Oops, I don't like the way that aligned. Align it with the text. I want to align it with the figure. Move this over here like so. All right. So far so good. Now I got to have a great big honking line here, and what I like to do here is I usually we missed there, didn't we? Bear with me here. All right, I hope you can see that. Just pull that up a little bit if you can't. get my arrow here, and I can bring my arrow on up. If I use the shift key, it helps keep it straight. Hold down the shift key with my left hand while I'm working the mouse. And I can run another arrow from here back to here. Okay, I got a little crookedness there. So what do? I guess I can take this, I can move it up a little bit so it's straight, and then connect this one up by just moving it a little higher. Alright. There's other tools like Visio that does a much nicer, neater job than this. We're going to just use the simple Google tool here because it gets the job done. Alright, so now we got this little bake for 5 more minutes. We need to kind of close our loop off here. Again, I'll use my shift key, keep it nice and straight. Alright. Lastly, is the cake done? Well, we got another little piece of the puzzle we need to put together here. And if it is, what do? We got to put it on the pan to cool. So I'll do a copy and paste again. Alright, and we'll change instructions here. Cool on rack for 20 minutes. We'll do a copy and a paste. We'll get one more of these. Whoops. Copy, paste. And in here we're going to say, what's our last step? Cut and serve. Alright, just about done. Last thing we need my ending connector. I'll grab that guy, put that over here. And hopefully you can see that. I'll scoot this up a little more. I keep making this smaller. I don't mean to do that, but so here's my end piece, and now let's put a couple arrows here and we'll finish this off. Actually, I'm going to make this bigger first. I'll have to do a little scooting around of things, keep those lines nice and straight. That one over a little bit, move this one over a little bit. Actually, we never connected this one up, did we? Let's try and get this one connected with that other object. There we go. Alright. Move that over a little bit, and voila! Our cake is done. And I'll move this down a little bit here so you can fit it all on the screen. But there we go. Now we have a graphical representation. And yeah, it's a little bit painful because of the tool we're using. You get in a more advanced flow charting tool, definitely can do a better job with it. But it's not bad. It works. So that's our second method for representing an algorithm. And of course, the third we'll cover in our next series of lessons in Unit 5, where we'll look at programming.